I'm sure some of you out there will be familiar with the original Mitsubishi Eclipse nameplate, which used to belong on a sports car. However, since the early 2000s, this name has mysteriously vanished from the market. So back in 2018, when Mitsubishi announced that they are bringing back this legendary name, I was actually very excited. But then they gave us an SUV. And actually, what we have here is the new 2021 facelifted Eclipse Cross. But before we begin, do remember to subscribe if you haven't already and click on the bell icon. The facelift gave the Eclipse Cross two major updates, technology and visuals. So this car is now made to look like the rest of the Mitsubishi model range. You get slick and thin DRLs up top, and your main headlight cluster is actually down here, with your main headlight up top and your fog lights down here. It's worth noting that the style trim level, the higher one, gets these full LED lights, while the lower end classic trim variant only gets halogen bulbs. Another major design update is the new Mitsubishi Dynamic Shield Grille, which is just an update to the front grille with more intricate patterns like your honeycombs. And the chrome bits at the side give the car a sort of hourglass front grille shape, which is similar to models like the Mitsubishi Outrage or the Mitsubishi Outlander. Speaking of chrome, it can be found throughout the car. The most notable example being the chrome outlining the side windows. The car is also very angular with its slick roof rack and flowing lines, almost making it seem like it's constantly leaning forward. You also get rather large side mirrors with cameras mounted underneath for your 360-degree parking assistant. The style trim level also benefits from bigger and nicer 18-inch rims, as opposed to the classic trim level, which only gives you 16-inch rims. For a car this size, the bigger rims do look better. And funnily enough, this paint job is actually called Red Diamond, which is suspiciously similar to the brand logo. Coincidence? But if you're someone who wants some fancy paint job that's not offered, you can check out Voss Automotive. With a keen understanding of vinyl wraps, paint, and custom automotive bodywork, Voss is your best option in giving your car a 360-degree transformation without breaking the bank. Round the back, you get a new redesigned rear bumper, but the biggest change would be the new single-piece redesigned tailgate. This is actually feedback from existing Eclipse Cross owners, where the 2018 model had this split tailgate, which actually limited rear visibility. So Mitsubishi listened, and there we go. And this new design actually increases rear visibility, so it's actually easier to drive. You do not get a powered tailgate though, but the new design actually allows more boot space in the back for a total of 405 liters. If you wanted more space, you could always fold down the seats 60-40. The boot also comes with mounting points on the inside, so you can hook stuff like your cargo nets to prevent your items from slushing around while you're driving. The only gripe I have, is that this cargo cover is actually quite flimsy and it doesn't really stay together while you're driving, so it just flaps around. To be honest, I still fall under the camp of I don't really like the look of this car. When the Eclipse Cross first debuted back in 2018, the looks left a lot more to be desired. From head on, the car still looks okay, but when you take on the rest of the body, the proportions always felt a little weird, with a strange body shape that is neither SUV nor SUV coupe. I'm sure I'm not the only one who can agree on this, but I do respect Mitsubishi for trying and listening to feedback. And this 2021 facelifted model does make it a little more stylish, even though the general body shape is still roughly the same. It's a small step, but a step nonetheless in the right direction. And if you want to maintain its looks, you can use these guys. Established since 2016, 3K Defense is customized for Singapore weather, providing you with the best coating for our climate to protect and shine your car. The rear of the Eclipse Cross is, there's no other word, fantastic. You get lots of legroom and headroom, and that is even with the front seats shifted way back. The rear seats can also be reclined at different angles. So if for whatever reason you want to sit like that, very formal, or you can do the full lepak and recline back like this, so you can relax in the back of the Eclipse Cross. You also get a center armrest with cup holders, and the only small gripe I have with the rear of the Eclipse Cross is that you only get one 12-volt outlet right here, which to me, I feel USB ports would have been a better alternative. The higher end style trim level gives you leather seats all around, and the front seats also get electric seat controls. And the driving position in this car is actually rather comfortable. Everything is nicely proportioned, and all of your touch points come with leather, and you just feel very relaxed while driving. There is no sunroof in this car, but I suspect it may be a future addition, as the brochure clearly states a Eclipse Cross with a sunroof, but maybe it's for other markets. You do get a decent steering wheel, and the style trim level also gives you paddle shifters, but the Eclipse Cross only comes with analog dials, and not some digital cluster that most modern cars come with nowadays. Nothing wrong with it, but it can feel a bit of a dinosaur in our current times. The style trim level also comes with an 8-inch smartphone link display audio system, which is basically Mitsubishi talk for a touchscreen basically. And it's damn responsive, and also includes Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now, one thing I will compliment the car on is actually its sound system. It's not some atas sound system like Bose or Harman Kardon like you get in other cars, but for what it's worth, it is damn impressive. The 8-inch touchscreen is very responsive to use, and your essential buttons like your volume control and your aircon controls are all physical, which personally I prefer because it's just easier to use. It's there while you're driving and all that. You also get 2 USB ports up here and a 12-volt outlet for all your charging stuff. But there's no wireless charger included in the Eclipse Cross, and this slot is just for like your wallet or keys or something. The front seats also come with heating, and you can select them from here. And the gear shifter does have an unusually long throw for a car for whatever reason. And you do get an electronic parking brake and an auto hold button right here. All things considered, the interior of the Eclipse Cross is actually very impressive. It's very comfortable, you get a lot of features, it's very practical, like this glove box here is actually rather big, and you get lots of space in the back for the entire family. So, how does this car fare on the roads? So here are the headline figures for the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. The Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross has a 1.5-litre turbocharged inline-4 engine, producing 163 brake horsepower and 250 Nm of torque. It has an 8-speed CVT transmission, and it can do 0 to 100 km/h in just 9.7 seconds. It has a top speed of 200 km/h and a fuel efficiency of 14.5 km/L. Now, traditional SUVs are very bulky and they feel very cumbersome to drive on the roads. However, you don't really get that sensation in this. The steering is very light and the ride is fairly comfortable, as long as you don't go over humps enthusiastically. All-round visibility is good too, thanks to the large side mirrors and the single rear glass, which now doesn't obstruct your view, unlike the previous model. And because this is an SUV after all, you have a very tall and commanding position on the roads. There is no drive mode selector in the Eclipse Cross, and the only button I can see you can toggle is the Eco mode, which is down here. If you want to engage Sports mode, you can shift the gear shifter to the side and shift the gear manually, either with the gear shifter or with the pedal shifters behind the steering wheel. The CVT is fine, and the 250 Nm of torque is enough and very punchy at low speeds, so this can definitely keep up with traffic. As every other manufacturer is shifting to hybrid this or electric that, Mitsubishi is standing firm and they are saying, nope, we are keeping the traditional internal combustion engine. Long live the dinosaur! And I don't mind that, but this may actually hurt sales, as everyone nowadays are so adamant about fuel consumption. And while yes, the Eclipse Cross is rated at 14.5 km per litre from the factory, there are many more models out there that can easily beat that. And parking is not scary at all in the Eclipse Cross. In the style package, you get the multi-around monitor, which is basically a fancy word for a 360-degree each camera. And it works well. It even has a side camera, which actually shows you a view of the curb. So like for example, when you're parallel parking, you won't accidentally curb your wheels. Overall, the Eclipse Cross is a no-frills, easy car to drive. At speed, like on the expressway, it feels very planted, and you don't have to worry about going round corners, as the car is very stable. That's really not much to complain about. And to ensure that your engine still runs smoothly, you can check out SPC Lubricants, where protection is everything. While the looks of the Eclipse Cross is debatable, you can't deny that it is a practical and functional car, offering tons of space for the whole family. The price is also fairly reasonable. However, there is one crucial decision to be made here. At the time of this video, the classic trim level is 134K, while the style trim level, which is this one here, is a pretty 146K. And that's a big price difference between trim levels. So, if you are intending on getting the Eclipse Cross, you will have to ask yourself this: do you really need the better features like the infotainment system, the electric seats, the 360-degree parking assistant, or even the 18-inch rims? Or save the 12K? Personally, even though it is more expensive, I feel that the features like the parking assistant and electric seats are worth it, as they give you more convenience and safety overall. Overall, the Eclipse Cross is very easy to drive and it's very practical. This is the kind of car that once someone in your family passes their driving test, you can slap on the P plate confidently and tell them, this car is no problem to drive at all. If you can look past its exterior, or you're someone who does like the exterior, it's really not a bad car. If you are keen on getting the Eclipse Cross, you'll need insurance, and thankfully, Direct Asia has got you covered. As the only direct insurer that has the highest NCD, lifetime repair guarantee, and flexible coverage, Direct Asia protects your car, so you can have a greater peace of mind and enjoy the moments that matter. Because what drives you matters most. Get a quote at directasia.com or call 6665-5555 today. That's it from me today. Do remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you again on mReview.
Motorist